This is a tournament that we had at Portland Game Store in Portland, Oregon. It was a 4-round Swiss 15-person tournament. The top of the screen is a local in the region, Eric, playing a Battle Mage deck. And at the bottom of the screen is, I believe that's Null, playing an Archimago deck. Now, Null hadn't been playing the game recently. It had been, I think, at least several months since he had been playing again. So the Archimago deck that you see here is not just, it's not the I guess what you would consider a more traditional meta version of an Archimago build. I think that he's relying more on just like control. He's got a lot of control pieces, but he's relying more on just general spell recursion to cast things like Border Militia and maybe Guards to overwhelm. Eric, just a very friendly and helpful player. Null had a lot of questions during this match just because he'd been out of the loop for a while, so Eric was more than happy to kind of work with him, answer any questions he had, things like that. For this tournament, we were using the second player Seer rule. So the second player can choose a card to look at from the top of either of their decks and then either keep it on the top or move it to the bottom. Turn 1, Eric plays a Lighthouse, passes turn. Oh, no, he plays a Lighthouse, plays out an Aquamarine Core, and then passes turn. So pretty good start for a Battle Mage. Battle Mage wants to get set up early, so it can use its abilities to kind of advance forward and start attacking either sites or minions without having to tap to play out additional sites. First turn for Archimago, he's got a Ruins in passing turn. Second play for the Battle Mage, we've got a Summer River, looking at the top card. I couldn't quite make out what that was. It might have been a Blink or a Telekinesis. I think it was a Blink, and so I'm not quite sure why Eric would choose to push that to the bottom of the deck. Blink feels like a pretty important card for Battle Mage to get up and advance early in the game. Null hitting Gnome Hollow for a second sight, which is a real fortunate pull for him. And then Sisters of Avalon to draw, discard a card and draw a card. Gnome Hollow, just a real fortuitous positioning on that in the center of the field for Null. Units with power 3 or greater cannot enter it, and that's going to slow down the Battle Mage player, who would more than likely probably want to get onto that site in some capacity, either to attack it directly or attack a minion that is inhabiting it. So it kind of it creates a roadblock for the Battle Mage specifically, because now it kind of muddles the attack line straight down the center, and he's going to have to position and get in through other means. But he plays out a Cloud City, which is great mobility. I think he's got 2 threshold for it so far. He can't move it yet, but if he can get on Cloud City, it's going to give him the ability to move his Battle Mage and then position in. Turn 3 for Null. He's got a Tower in play, 4 mana for turn from the Genesis effect. Playing a Highland Princess into Gnome Hollow, which is, again, a very defensive site for the Highland Princess to be in. Highland Princess gets to search for an artifact of 1 cost or less. He grabs an Amethyst Core. and 2 mana left on for turn. He could play out the core if he wants, or he could play something else for 2. And looks like he's going to opt to play a Common Sense for 2 mana. Probably just to kind of hit mana efficiency and spend all your mana in your mana pool for this turn. I don't know if the additional ramp from the core was going to be super important for his next turn. Looks like he is choosing a lightning bolt from the Common Sense. No, he changed his mind. Instead of a lightning bolt, he Common Sensed for a Common Sense. So gets another spell into his cemetery, gets a Common Sense back into his hand again. Pondering a move with the sisters, deciding to keep them where they are. And then passing turn over to Eric again. Eric drawing looks like a spell for turn. He does have 4 mana as a base in his mana pool because of the Aquamarine core. He's tapping for some reason. He's playing a Black Plague for 4 mana. So Black Plague will, at the end of turn, kill the lowest power minion in the area of effect. And then if it can't kill anything, it will dispel itself. And that's at the end of his turn. Eric passing turn. I think he meant to either tap to draw a spell, tap to draw a sight with the Battle Mage, but didn't, or meant to move forward or didn't. I'm not quite sure why he tapped. Null playing out a windmill, moving the princess to the windmill site to get it out of range of the Black Plague. So then I forgot to mention at the end of Eric's turn, he chose the Sisters of Avalon to kill both the Sisters and Highland Princess 1 power. Null playing out the Amethyst Core. Still has 3 mana for the turn. 3 mana for an Apprentice Wizard. Gets him a spell. And then passing turn back. Eric choosing to draw a spell. And yeah, I think he just forgot to draw the sight last turn from the Battle Mage when he tapped it, because he doesn't have a sight in hand. He just tapped again to draw a sight. He's running into some trouble here with positioning. I think I see a blink in his hand, so that does give him some utility. It would help him out a lot if he could get to 3 air threshold and activate Cloud City. Then at least Cloud City would give him a little bit more maneuverability with the Battle Mage. But with a blink, I mean, he could get into position and he could get on his sight and attack. And I think that's what I maybe would have done that turn instead, just to get the Battle Mage up into his territory early. I'm not sure if he was just nervous about kind of if he blinked onto Cloud City and then attacked into the tower, kind of like landlocking himself there, because then he can't get past Gnome Hollow. And then if Null doesn't play a site adjacent to the tower and ruins, it doesn't leave him a lot of places to go unless he gets another blink or another movement trick in his hand. Null playing a beacon for sight for his turn. No Genesis effect on that because there are no nearby enemies. 3 mana for a Border Militia. Or no, excuse me. I think he played a Common Sense. He played a Common Sense for 2. Fished out a Border Militia from his deck. Moving the Apprentice Wizard to Gnome Hollow. I think he forgot to tap. I think he forgot to tap for the move. But I don't know if that's going to matter on this next turn or not. Whether or not it is untapped and free. Eric deciding to advance up with the Battle Mage, paying 1 for a Ring of Morgan, which is a little dangerous. Honestly, if I was in this matchup with Archimago, you see what's in his cemetery right now. He's got 3 magic spells, 2 of which are Common Sense. There's a very high chance that he is, either has a Disenchant or Dispel in his hand, or he could essentially just tutor for it with Common Sense. And this is a super greedy move from Eric, using a replication to make a copy of the ring to effectively give him two rings he's carrying. Which, if it wasn't so easy for his opponent to get a Dispel into his hand, might be worth the risk. But I think it is pretty likely this turn that we just immediately see a recast on Common Sense from the cemetery using Archimago's ability. Fishing for a Dispel, and then just Eric gets all of his carried artifacts dispelled. I mean, I think that's what I would do. I would just take the opportunity to go ahead and do that on my turn if I was the Archimago player. Null does have a sight in his hand. It looks like he has his own Cloud City. And he could play it up. But that would just give Eric a theater to attack into. Or he could just continue to kind of, build his own sight wall and go wide on the board here and play it adjacent to the windmill, which looks like where he's going to put it. So, I mean, that still jams Eric up if he wants to start attacking in with that Battle Mage. Unless he has some movement tricks. Like I said, like he would need a flanking maneuver or a blink. More commonly, probably a blink would be used with Battle Mage. 2 mana to Lightning Bolt the Battle Mage for 3 points of damage. Banishing, he's banishing 3 spells from the cemetery using Archimago to recast Common Sense. And I think he's got 6 mana for turn. He spent 2. He's got 2 left. 2 left, probably for that Dispel. Disenchant, there it is. So Disenchant all artifacts and auras within 2 steps from Archimago. That tags the Battle Mage. Gets rid of all those artifacts. I think Eric now, like even just like commenting that he knew it was a really greedy play, but he did it anyways. Null getting a lot of value, in that tag with that Disenchant. And then he's end of turn flying turn flying the Cloud City. I think that he's playing Border Militia. I think that's an illegal play. Yeah, just because he'd already spent all of his mana. Let me just double check. 2 for the Lightning Bolt, 2 for Common Sense. Yeah, two for Disenchant. That's 6. And he's playing the Border Militia again. I think he just forgot how much mana was left in his mana pool. But the reason why he flew Cloud City up to be against the Battle Mage now is because he was thinking I can get an extra Foot Soldier token if it is adjacent and borders his site. So that was the thinking with that play. I think they just both forgot that he had already spent all of his mana for turn. And mistakes do happen. In Sorcery, it is a complicated game. It does create complicated board states as the board is developed. There's a lot of things to track in the game. It is up to both players to kind of maintain a fair and honest board state together and help each other out, which we do for the most part. It's just sometimes things slip through the cracks, and both players kind of can miss certain things. Not maliciously, just accidents happen. Eric contemplating his next move here. I mean, looking at his hand, I think maybe that's not a blink in his hand. I think it might be like a telekinesis. So I think he's getting stuck here. He's debating just swinging in to Cloud City, but he is I think he's afraid that Null's just going to fly it into the corner and kind of sequester the Battle Mage for the rest of the game. If it is on Cloud City, I mean, it does give him something to swing on at least. And even if he chose to block with something here, it would give him a card to draw from the Battle Mage ability. So if he doesn't have any movement abilities, which it doesn't look like he does, I think it would probably have been advantageous to I don't know, maybe swing on to Cloud City or not. I don't know. It's a big advantage stepping onto Cloud City like that, stepping onto Null's Cloud City. And just giving Null the ability to fly him into the corner, to put baby in the corner there. So I think, yeah, it's just Eric decided not to do that and took a step to reposition himself onto his Cloud City. And then he didn't have a play with three mana. He's down to 3 mana now because of the disenchant. Null playing 2 for a blink, and again he's got a cemetery full of magic spells now. I think he's got 4 magic spells in there, one of which is a Common Sense. So he's got a toolbox full of answers in his cemetery. The disenchant is already in there. The blink is in there. Common Sense. He's playing out a Merlin's Tower. And he needs to tap Archimага to do that. Let's see if they remember to do that. But on Genesis, and he does have the 3 air threshold to activate the Genesis. It becomes a spellcaster for turn. Next spell it casts is -3 mana. So he's just casting essentially a firebolt for free. A firebolt onto the Battle Mage. And now he's just piling on with all of the Foot Soldier tokens he has to attack for 3 more points in. Battle Mage definitely on the back foot here. Eric is in trouble. Archimago kind of has established itself with a stable full of spells in the cemetery, established a mana base. He's up to 6 mana from sight, 7 including the core. Null very much in control of this game, I think. And the further down Eric's life gets chipped here, the less appealing it is for the Battle Mage to attack into minions. That's why you want to try to get as much value early out of the Battle Mage as you can to deal with those minion threats and be aggressive and try to get it up on the field. Or if not be aggressive, make kind of good positioning, like get good positioning and be in a position to be able to make advantageous trades. I think that was a recast for Lightning Bolt, and then a move from the Highland Princess up onto Cloud City. And then choosing to fly Cloud City up against Eric's home site, the lighthouse. I think just to spread out and be just more of a nuisance in general. Eric, I think he's your site for turn. He's tapping for a site. He needs the mana. I think 3 mana is a little rough for a Battle Mage. He's got a tower out, and we get to see a Twister. Chaos Twister attempting to get the Highland Princess onto the site, I think, with all the tokens. He was hoping to get a complete board wipe and remove all of Null's minions, but unfortunately it slid a little too far and landed in Gnome Hollow. Thankfully, the Highland Princess is only 1 power, so it can enter Gnome Hollow, so at least he does get the kill on that target. Chaos Twister is a really fun spell. It's sort of a kind of a callback to like early Magic the Gathering with the Chaos Orb. It's like a kinetic ability in the game. You balance the card on the back of your palm, and then your hand has to be a minimum of 1 foot from the table, and then you blow on the card like you're blowing out a birthday candle, and wherever the card lands, it does damage to the minion, and then anything that it lands on. Null, just I think boredom-lishing again for a lot of tokens. He's got Eric in a corner here. He's kind of just overwhelming him now. It's going to be death by 1,000 cuts with the tokens. Eric's shrinking the token and then attacking and punching the token, just so he doesn't have to take 1 point of damage. It's not an ideal use of that card. It's really, it's a bad play for him. But if he's doing that, then I just have to assume maybe he doesn't have a lot of other options here. And at the very least, he does get the card draw. He gets a card draw, and maybe that'll help him fish out some sort of answer here to help him stabilize this game. He's only got 4 mana for turn again, because he doesn't get that +1 like he did last turn from the Tower Genesis, and he spent 1 He spent 1 on the shrink, so he's got 3 in his pool. I can't quite see what's in his hand right now. He's going to pay 3 to play a Sword and Shield, to put it on his Battle Mage. Eric, a little resigned at this point. He is not seeing he's not seeing an answer in his hand, and he doesn't really see a line out of the situation he's in and being able to stabilize. But he's going to go ahead and play this out. Let's see. Passing turn back to Null. Null definitely has the foot soldiers in position to take him to door. So we're going to see that this turn. And he's got like 5 cards in his hand. So as long as he has a kill spell, chances are very high that he is going to be able to get him to door this turn and get that last point of damage in on his next turn to secure the win. So yeah, swinging in with his foot soldier tokens, taking him to door. Moving again. I don't know why he's not tapping some of those foot soldier tokens. I think that he's just a little unclear about how the move and attack ability works. Since like Null earlier in the game, I think also like didn't tap to move on I want to say the Apprentice Wizard. But that's okay. It's not really going to affect the outcome of this game too much. Eric getting his second Chaos Twister out in the game, and just choosing to play that again. Not really as a way to stabilize this game. I think just as a kind of like a fun. Let's go ahead and play this spell, because wouldn't it be fun to play two Chaos Twisters in the game? The Rebel card token being used as a stand-in for the card being targeted by Chaos Twister. It hits the board. It looks like it hits they're saying it hit the board, and it's like 50-50 between two squares. The way that Chaos Twister selects, it has to be in like whatever the majority square is where it lands. So they did a roll-off to choose where that Chaos Twister hit. I think they chose the river. But Null, he does have the kill spell on his hands. He just has to he moves up with Archimago on his turn and shoots magic missiles to round out the game. So that was a fun game to watch. It was a bit unfortunate for Eric. It just didn't look like he was getting what he needed to get set up in place, and I think he was perhaps a little too greedy with his artifact casts. So that was game 1 on table 1, and we'll move on to the next round.